Bernard McCulloch, but we all know him as Bernie Mac. He was born October 5th, 1957, in the south side of Chicago, Illinois. Now, Bernie, he's the second of four children, and when Bernie was a sophomore in high school, his mother, Mary, had passed away from cancer. So this had made Bernie move from Chicago to Tampa, Florida for a little while, but he had came back to Chicago and graduated in 1975. He married his high school sweetheart, Rhonda Gore, on September 17th, 1977, and a year later, in 1978, they had a daughter. Her name is Janice. Now, during his 20s to his early 30s, Bernie Mac, he worked a lot of jobs. He was a janitor, he was a coach, a professional mover, and he worked at UPS. Now, while he was working all these jobs, he still did what he loved best, and he was doing stand-ups on weekends. And he was influenced for the likes of Richard Pryor and Red Fox. And at the age of 32, Bernie Mac, he won a Miller Lite comedy search, and this is where he started to get recognized. And he was 32 when he started to blow up. But the fact is, like, he started off late in his career. And if you look at anybody now, by the time they hit their 30s, they already did a lot of things. So he was already off to a late start. So after the comedy search, his popularity actually began to grow. And he had a chance to perform on the HBO Def Comedy Jam that was hosted by Martin Lawrence. So when he came on stage, he came with a fearless attitude, right? And that attitude that he came with has cemented his legacy. So after that, he started to open up for Donnie Warwick, Natalie Cole, and Red Fox. And his favorite stand-up comedian was Red Fox, so that was an honor to him. And after that, he had landed his first movie role. In 1994, he had played Uncle Vester in House Party 3. Also that same year, he had a chance to host his own late-night talk show on HBO called Midnight Mac, but it was later canceled. And he also played Mr. Johnson in Babs. And this is where he got his big break. He played Pastor Cleveland in 1995 on the movie Friday. So a fun fact, in 1995, the Apollo Theater, that was doing the Wiz musical play. And Bernie Mac, he was one of the people who was selected to play the Wiz. And that role was played by Richard Pryor back in the movie. And you know, Richard Pryor was one of Bernie Mac's favorite comedians. But in 1998 is where Bernie Mac actually got his most notable role. He was actually playing Dollar Bill in The Players Club. And if you think about Bernie Mac, if you just say Bernie Mac's name, 9 times out of 10, you're going to think about that movie. Either that movie or Friday. Going to come to your head first. So now in 2000, Bernie Mac, he had actually went on tour. He went on tour with D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, and Steve Harvey. And we all know this tour to be the original Kings of Comedy. Now this tour was a major success. Every city they went to, they sold out. And me personally, I believe Bernie Mac was the funniest one on that tour, which explains why he was on last. So comment below your favorite joke of that tour. It could be a joke from D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, or Bernie Mac. I just want to see what your favorite joke is. While on tour, Bernie Mac, he just kept saying that America was scared of him. They were scared to give him his own show. And at this time, D.L. Hughley had his own show. Steve Harvey had his own show. And Cedric the Entertainer was on the show with Steve Harvey. The only one that didn't have a show was Bernie Mac. And after the success of this tour, Bernie Mac landed his own show on Fox called The Bernie Mac Show, which was a major success in my eyes. So in 2001, Bernie Mac, he was able to break away from the black traditional comedy genre, and he was getting roles on movies like Ocean 11 and Charlie Angels. And in 2003, he made an impressive performance playing a villain, in the movie Bad Santa. And he also starred in a movie called Guess Who, and alongside Ashton Kutcher. But for some people who don't know, Guess Who is actually a comedy remake of the original movie called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. And Guess Who, the one with Bernie Mac is in it, this is about a black family who daughter bring home a white boy. And the original movie is vice versa, a white family who daughter bring home a black man. So the Bernie Mac show, it was actually having some success, and after the fifth season, Fox decided to cancel the show, and the show had actually ended on a cliffhanger. Wanda and Bernie was actually going to adopt a baby, but we will never know what happened. And but this show actually won an Emmy for outstanding writing, and Bernie Mac, he was actually ranked 47th in the TV Guide for the top 50th greatest TV's dads. So around 2005, Bernie Mac had made it publicly known that he was suffering from sarcoidosis, and that's a disease that actually attacks your lungs. And if you watch the Bernie Mac show from season 1 to about season 3, you can see that dramatic weight gain that he had gotten. And in 2008, Bernie Mac, he was admitted to the Northwestern Memorial Hospital in his hometown of Chicago, Illinois. And after a week of unsuccessful medical treatment, Bernie Mac, he had slipped into cardiac arrest, and he had died in the early mornings of August 9th for complications of pneumonia. And he had passed away 2 months shy before his 51st birthday. In November of 2008, Bernie Mac had actually had a movie called Soul Man that was set to release. And in that movie, Samuel L. Jackson, Isaac Hayes, and Bernie Mac was in it. Now, Bernie Mac passed away August 9th, 2008, and Isaac Hayes had passed away August 10th of 2008. And that whole year was a busy year for Bernie Mac. He had 3 movies that was set to release. Alongside Soul Man, it was Madagascar and Old Dogs. And at the end of the movies, they all set a tribute to Bernie Mac. So after his death, a week later was his funeral, and nearly 7,000 people had came in attendance. And some of the people that was there, to name a few, was Chris Rock, Samuel L. Jackson, Ashton Kutcher, Don Cheadle, and of course his castmates of his show, and of course of his co-hosts of the Kings of Comedy. Man, we had lost an original king of comedy, one of the best, I might add. Man, rest up to the king. He was 50 years old.